Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Houston's Hustle Hobbies, a show where I talk about making, saving, and investing money in either way, shape, or form, because let's face it, that's just the way you get well off, isn't it? Today I want to talk about, I want to call this like the religions of money, because there's two schools of thought that I've noticed in my financial journey with the ways to make money that I can at least say, are proven. So the first form of money, the first school of thinking or religion is the Dave Ramsey approach, and that's basically you use the debt snowball method. The Dave Ramsey approach is basically the slogan is live like no one else so you can live like no one else. And it's that it's extreme sacrifice and extremely hard work and literally almost working yourself to the bone for the goal. And the thing is that the goal is supposed to be the thing that guides you. Hopefully it does, but it's very difficult, which I'll explain later. So the Dave Ramsey approach uses the debt snowball method. The debt snowball method is basically you do something, you line all your bills up, and you take the smallest bill, which will be the smallest bill to pay off. And you figure out a way to make more money to pay that very small bill off, and then you use the money that you would have used to make the monthly payment on the smaller bill to use it on the next bill, and so on and so forth, and over again until you have all your bills paid off, because it basically uses your job as your greatest wealth building tool. Because that's all you have when you start out. Like, you have your job. Your job is like the baseline. It's just how you spending your money. That is the issue. So again, extreme sacrifice. Dave Ramsey approach, you'll find yourself doing stuff like I did. I ended up not using paper towels anymore because it would cost, $2 a week for paper towels. And, excuse me. And I switched to microfiber rags. Well, the initial cost of the microfiber rags was about $5. And, they'll last, as long as microfiber rags last. So it's either $2 every week for paper towels, or every 2 weeks for paper towels, or $5 once for these rags that you just keep washing for, if you meter your washing machine like I am and you're crazy, to get a full load is about 19 cents to wash the rags out, and they're good for a month. So that's kind of what I do. Or you could just rinse it out with, rinse it out with water and hang it out to dry. And, I don't know how much water is. It's about to be about a penny. But you see what I'm saying? It gets to that microscopic, nuanced level. Whereas the fire religion, which is almost interesting, like heaven and hell, which is the fire religion is... basically, these flies are killing me. I just got finished the run. Was basically, it starts off like the Dave Ramsey snowball method, but once you start building your credit, it kind of focuses more on building credit, because once you build your credit, you can do something that is called debt leveraging. And debt leveraging is basically using your assets or refinancing your assets. I mean, the things, turning certain things into an asset. Hopefully, if you're smart about, if you're smart about things that you've done, you use your assets to pay off your loans that way, or get whatever you want. So I've done both of these. I told you about the paper towel thing, and I've told you about, all that stuff. So the fire method, what I've done with the fire method is, like I said, I just bought a 2017 Dodge Ram Caravan last year, and I got a loan, and I was at a bad credit place. I think my credit was like 600 at the time or something like that. So I had to get a crappy loan. The loan was like a 17% loan or something like that. And, it kicked my butt. The loan payment was $500 a month, but, and I need the car because it's a necessary evil. It's a necessary, reliable evil. But what I ended up doing recently was I ended up taking the car and refinancing it through my bank. But here's the way I did it. I didn't just refinance the car because I don't own the car. What I ended up doing was I got a personal loan for the amount of the car plus a couple $1,000s to take care of some small things in my house. And now that I did that, I have the loan at still $500 a month, plus I have the extra $2,000. And since I'm using the Dave Ramsey debt snowball method, the car will be still paid off faster, and I have that extra money to do certain things, that's at my disposal. Now, for instance, for me, I told you I used half of it, a little bit more than half of it, to buy a refrigerator, and I used the rest of it to pay for my son's braces, or some part of it to pay for my son's braces, and I used the rest of it to just, reinvest. So that's what you end up doing. Like, the FIRE method basically shows you how to use your debt as leverage to make you more money, It sounds complicated as hell, but this is just an extreme glossing over of what this process actually is, and it's quite dangerous. It's quite dangerous. It's quite scary. But you must be diligent to do this and to keep it up, because it takes a lot out of you. If you have a partner and that partner's not privy to it, you will fight with that partner. You'll feel like a crappy parent because you'll have to pull your kids out of karate, or ballet, or you'll feel like a crappy person because you just not doing enough work to your house, and your lawn is messed up, and it gets to eat at you a lot. But for the Dave Ramsey method, you'll come out better on the other side. Now, the FIRE method is a little bit scary. I'm starting to realize it's actually kind of showy. Like, I have a nice refrigerator, and what happens is you start to get nice things, and the problem with nice things is that nice things go with other nice things. So you go on something called the hedonic treadmill. You can look this up. It's really interesting. I think Graham Stephan got a good breakdown of it on the YouTube channel. So hedonic treadmill is this. For instance, when you leave your parents' house and you get yourself an apartment, like you were at your parents' house and you didn't have to spend anything for anything, really. You might have just did some stupid stuff and got like a bloated phone plan or something like that. But for the most part, you pay about $100 a month for mortgage, or for rent to your mom, which you don't even pay because you're an unreliable piece of crap. And you go out on your own. Now your monthly bills, instead of being like that $200 a month for your phone bill and your money you give to your mom, now your money is looking like something like $800 a month for like $600 for the 1-bedroom apartment, and then $100 a month for the utilities for that place, and then another $100 a month for that bloated phone plan. Well, let's just say you move somewhere where you have to commute to work, and next thing you know, you got to get a car, and the car, you get yourself an old used car with a payment plan, and that's another $300, say $200 for the loan payment, and the extra $100 for your car insurance or something like that. So all of a sudden you went from having spending basically $200, and we haven't even talked about food yet. So you basically went from spending $200 a month in expenses living with your parents to, like, it's $1,100, but let's just say another $300 a month for food. So you're at like $1,500 or $1,400 a month. And, like, let's say if you have a job where you work at like a Walmart, like I did for 10 years, and you could caught in that purgatory, you make $750 every 2 weeks, which is, $1,500 a month. You're right at that. And that's basically where I was at. And I was, literally ramen noodles for like 5 years. So, you got to be careful on the FIRE movement because of the hedonic treadmill. Once you start to get better things, you begin to require better things, and it's a very vicious and nasty, you know what I'm trying to say, cyclical cycle. It's a very nasty cycle, so you have to be careful of that. I think the way to go, I'm doing both just to see, just for learning purposes. But the way to go definitely is Dave Ramsey. I think you'll be bored, but you'll end up valuing things that don't have anything to do with money. But one of the beauty, so I would still, if I were to say something, my takeaway is I need to be more Dave Ramsey-esque, and I need to actually work harder and stop trying to scheme, even though you have to scheme. But one of the interesting things as a takeaway, wow, this video is 10 minutes long. As a takeaway from this, like I said, I would pick the Dave Ramsey approach. But the interesting thing about them both is that if you set them both upright, you never have to worry about money again. And it's heavy. Like, just imagine that. Just imagine you don't do your grocery shopping when it's payday. You do your grocery shopping when there's no food left. Like, shit, we got to go get some food. And then you go do your grocery shopping. Instead of like, oh shit, we don't have any food. I have to wait until payday to go get food. Like, and that's sadly, that's the reality for a lot of people, for a lot of us. I'm just walking out of that reality. So, what? How long have I been an adult for? It took me 15 years of being an adult to figure this out. So it takes time. Don't rush it. Anyway, I'm getting too deep into this, and this is a long ramble after a even longer run, and I still got about 100 burpees to do, and then I still got to go to work and get my butt kicked. So anyway, it's going to be a fun day. Anyway, thanks for listening to me and indulging me. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Dave Ramsey.